a Maxim 9. That Zach. That's that 9 millimeter pistol
That
with
suppressed
with a
9, right?
yeah with a
Integrally suppressed.
with a suppressor on it
That's
with
a nice one.
with my thigh holster. Yeah, they didn't like that at all. They were like, "No guns are allowed during our parade." I was like, you know what? I'm Michael Cargill. I'm gonna wear a gun.
Kiss his belt buckle.
And there's nothing you can do about it. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Call the police? My gun's bigger than theirs. So that's right. So I wore my Maxim 9, which is a 9 millimeter pistol with a suppressor on it. Regardless of their no guns are allowed, do not parade. And especially since, all the police officers had AR-15s and they were they were like at every major intersection on the top of the buildings there as you're going down Congress. I said, I need to be protected too. So
also, it's an open area, so they can't really say anything. There's no 30-06 or 30-7 for downtown.
No, you can't regulate the roadway.
They don't own the streets, and you know what? They don't own the rainbow either.
They don't own the rainbow, and they don't own me, baby. All right, so let's see. All right, so today we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about, Matthew. As far as with you, what we're gonna discuss. Just tell me.
Well, we have no introduction to the shop. $999, unless you all.
But what is it? What is it?
This is a Vepr 12.
Okay, so when we come back, we're gonna talk about the Vepr 12 and what's this other gun here?
Oh, that's my own personal Mossy 500.
Oh, you just had to bring your own little Mossberg Shockwave.
Of course, I gotta bring my breacher gal. The furball has to come with wherever I go.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna talk about Vepr 12. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about, you know what? There's a man who pulled a gun on skateboarders.
What?
People, listen. I support the Second Amendment. There's no one, I defend the Second Amendment. I defend the Second Amendment in court. A lot of people talk about, guns, and they talk about defending the Second. But no one wants to go to court. But I go to court and defend the Second Amendment. And let me tell you, don't mess with skateboarders. Just leave them alone.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson in his first book, 12 Rules for Life.
What'd he say?
Rule number 11 is do not bother children when they're skateboarding.
Don't.
No, let them be. Let them be.
Number one, it's not even worth it.
Nope.
Number two, they will get you. Those little bastards are bad. So that's a war you're not going to win. Leave those skateboarders alone.
Not to mention, isn't it aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for pulling that stunt?
We're going to find out. We're going to play that video a little later in the hour as well. So yeah, skateboard, just leave the skateboarders alone. We're also going to talk about a woman this chick is in the back of a police officer's vehicle.
Oh,
she uncuffs herself and then retrieves the AR-15 that the officer has in the vehicle and then fires a shot at him. We're going to play that video too. Talk about bad police training.
Oh yeah.
Bad popo. Bad popo. That's right. And Giffords organization released a video of a so-called gun owner who's going to give us a little message on what he thinks we should be doing as gun owners. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. And then repeat felons in Austin, Texas. We talked about this last week. There's an update. I'm telling you, people, these cities that you're in, and if your city happens to be a city where you have a liberal DA, district attorney, or liberal mayor, they're not in it for you. They don't care about you. Crime's increasing. Criminals are getting bold. We've had the pandemic, and people are coming out of the pandemic, and they're like, hey, we have been cooped up. Our crazy is coming out. We need to act crazy. And so they're exposing themselves. But your DAs are not helping you. They're not prosecuting these people. We're going to talk about that. Repeat felony offenders. Not misdemeanor. Not, oh my goodness, why did he do that? No, a repeat felony offenders who are out on the street walking amongst us. And their DAs are not doing a thing. But you keep electing the same people in office. We're going to talk about that. Las Vegas. Man, this dude, another crazy cray-cray. This dude is running from the police, and let me tell you, in Las Vegas, he's doing a lot. We're going to talk about that. January 6th trial harassment. We're going to talk about remains found in a suitcase. Remains. What in the world is going on in this country? Is it the full moon? Are we getting too close to the sun? Is the moon too close to us? What's happening? I don't know.
Is Merciless and Gatorade right now?
It's
Something's in the water.
something's going on. Is it? I don't know what's happening. Remains found in a suitcase. Okay, Georgia man. Oh boy, I don't
Not
know what's
Florida man.
What is worse, Florida man or Georgia man?
I always thought it was Florida man.
Usually, Florida man's pretty bad, but a Georgia man, they can typically tip the scale when it comes to being cray cray.
Oh boy.
We're gonna talk about Mike Pence, a paralyzed kid. Black Lives Matter demanded release of cop killers. And Arizona party shooting, Rittenhouse selfie. We got all that stuff we're going to talk about today. We got a lot to cover, let me tell you. And also inside the studio, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. We're going to talk about all those cryptocurrencies. We're going to talk about our veterans making sure they have access to cryptocurrency while they're overseas.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Veterans need to be able to spend money and send money home to their loved ones without having to pay all these fees, having to worry about the government, and
Inflation too.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's bad.
Wonder how much data mining you could do overseas.
He doesn't need much. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. So cryptocurrency for our veterans. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. We come back from the break. You know what? This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Peace, this is Maj Toure. You're listening to Come and Talk It Radio with Michael Cargill.
Whether it's a typical traffic stop or you're just involved in a use of force incident, encounters with law enforcement can be scary and stressful. In the heat of the moment, you may inadvertently say something you don't mean or make an inconsistent statement. These are red flags for officers, and if they think you're lying or your story doesn't add up, they might arrest you and let the criminal justice system decide your fate. Police officers are trained to get information from you without making the interaction seem like a formal interrogation. But remember, from the moment an officer arrives on scene, everything you say and everything you do will be scrutinized in court. The prosecuting attorney will attempt to use anything and everything against you. So what do you say? You say, I invoke my right to remain silent, and then let your attorney interact with law enforcement on your behalf. One important note though, do not throw common sense out the window. For example, if the intruder's hiding somewhere in your house when the police arrive, or if you saw the perpetrator pitch his weapon into your backyard, quickly tell the police and then stop talking. You might ask, what about my rights? What if the police never read me my Miranda rights? Miranda rights is the common name for a collection of rights contained in the Miranda warnings, given to suspects when they're placed under arrest. The warning comes from a 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona. In that case, the court held that statements from a custodial interrogation would not be admissible unless proper procedural safeguards were in place to protect the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights. We've all seen these warnings on TV and movies. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and so on. So do police have to read you your rights? No. It's important to note that officers are not required to read you these rights unless you're in custody and subjected to interrogation. If the police show up to a crime scene and start asking you general questions and you voluntarily tell them everything that happened, those statements can be used against you regardless of the Miranda warnings because you're not in custody. If you're put in handcuffs but you say something incriminating on your own without being questioned, those statements can and will be used against you because you're not being interrogated. You're just starting to spout off. This is why it's imperative that you know your rights and you shouldn't rely on the police to read them to you. Affirmatively invoke your rights. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent and my right to my attorney. Once you do that, the police legally shouldn't continue questioning you without your attorney present. But remember, there's a second part to this equation. After invoking your rights, you must exercise those rights. That means you have to keep your mouth closed. Protect yourself. Don't let the legal system take advantage of you after an incident. Law Shield members, if you've been involved in a self-defense incident, remember to call the emergency hotline and speak with your independent program attorney.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
Let me tell you, the fleas are out, boy. The fleas are out. We need to spray them. Somebody needs a shot.
Bring the
So-
disinfectant.
Let's go to Arizona.
Oh,
Let's zoom in on Arizona. Okay, Arizona. You know, I like that state. You know, because Arizona, you know, they have a nice constitutional carry law. You don't need a license. You can get a license. You know, Arizona, you can do almost anything. Matter of fact, you can do so much, but what you cannot do is you cannot pull a gun on skateboarders. Okay, so let's go to Arizona. Check this video out. So there's a video that captures a man pulling a gun on skateboarders in a church parking lot. So, and this guy happens to be in a Tesla. Let me tell you, Tesla owners, they're kind of violent. You need to be careful.
my sister can personally attest to this too.
They're violent. Hashtag Elon Musk. Your owners of Teslas are violent. They're from California. You can't trust people from California. Not at all. Don't call me. Don't email me. Don't send me a postcard.
You want to hear a funny fact?
Go ahead.
All right. 41% of Tesla owners are Democrats, 27% are Republicans.
See, I told you. They're violent. They're just
So much for the tolerant left.
They're just violent. I'm telling you. So this dude in Gilbert, according to the Gilbert Police Department, says Thursday they're investigating a viral video of a man confronting a group of skateboarders at a local church and pulling a handgun on them. So the video, which was published on TikTok, shows a group of skateboarders at a Compassion Church in Gilbert. A 68-year-old man has nothing else to do. You know, can't go to the grocery store. He's done sitting at the park. He's done watching the dog. He's like, I'm retired from working. I've had this government job. And so now I'm just going to harass skateboarders. Man parks in front of them, and in a Tesla, okay? Dude,
What kind of gun did he have?
Dude, you're driving a Tesla.
Come on, man.
A Tesla. Hashtag Elon Musk. And walks toward them. He pulls a handgun from his pocket before telling them to leave. Now, the kicker is the church has released a statement. According to the church, you know, I like Compassion Church of Gilbert, Gilbert, I almost said Texas there.
Arizona.
Compassion Church of Gilbert, Texas. They released a statement saying that, hey, this man is not a member of our congregation.
Ooh.
No, he doesn't even belong to the church. And decide to pull a gun out. I mean, what were you doing? What goes to your head? I'm driving through the church parking lot I'm not even a member of. I don't have time to go to the church and praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Instead, I'm going to pull into the parking lot and harass, skateboarders. What is so funny over there?
No, nothing.
What's going on?
We're interacting with the chat,
Yeah.
with the audience.
Getting some
Watch the video. Something's going on that screen there. I'm just going to say just scroll in on the video on that monitor. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what they're watching. For all I know, it could be Papa Oscar Romeo November. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out.
We didn't do nothing.
Just never know.
I didn't do nothing.
Never know. All right, so according to the church, this guy is not even a member of the congregation. He doesn't even attend the church, but he decides to pull into the parking lot and tell these skateboarders, people that he don't even know, get off. You don't need to be skateboarding on this property. And I like skateboarders because skateboarders will call you out. I remember watching this one video one day where these skateboarders were doing their thing, and this lady comes up and they're harassing them. This one dude was like, he got so mad. He was a skateboarder. He's like, because she was like yelling and screaming. It was hilarious. Don't mess with skateboarders. That's one people I don't mess with. You know what I do with skateboarders? I invite them to our parking lot. Yeah, you can come, whatever, skateboard on the property. I'm not going to say anything. Shut up over there. They do whatever they do.
Parking lot.
Shut up. Just sit there and be quiet. All right. And so I'm just like, hey, as long as you show, when you're videotaping yourself, you show the sign, Central Texas Gun Works, and you tag us in your video, I'm good with that. So
Also keeps them out of trouble.
yeah, exactly. They're not out breaking into things and destroying, things.
What are you saying about skateboarders?
I like skateboarders.
Yeah, they're
I'm
not
all.
just the delinquents that you're making them out to be.
I didn't say they're delinquents.
They're not breaking into stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You keep them busy in your parking lot, and then they're not committing
exactly.
arson.
Yes, that's right. That's
Exactly.
right.
We get some good publicity out of it too.
That's right.
Get what?
We get good publicity out of it. Every
thought
single
you
time they
said
do
something
the
else.
videos, our show, our
This is a
Chuck gets
live radio show.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. You need to go sit outside the area there. And
Time out. Time
about,
out.
Think about what you were thinking.
Go to your corner.
Okay, so yeah, let me tell you, that is something else. Stop messing with the skateboarders. You know, nothing good's gonna come from that. Leave them alone. But inside the studio, we're gonna talk about cryptocurrency. So I got a guest inside the studio. He wants to talk cryptocurrency. We're talking cryptocurrency for our veterans. You know, you're deployed in Afghanistan, Iraq. Do we have troops from Iraq still? Afghanistan?
Not much.
Not much.
Not much.
You're deployed overseas. Okay. There's going to be a conflict because, you know, we need to put our foot in our hands and, you know, our foot on other people's throats. So we're going to be deployed. They're deployed all over the
Power
world.
projection is what they call it.
That's right. And so you're going to need to use cryptocurrency to send funds maybe to a family member or something like that. And it's a lot cheaper than Western nasty Union.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't want to do Western
And those
Union.
fees. and
All those
everything like
high
that.
fees. You know, nah, just do cryptocurrency. A lot cheaper that way.
Yep.
So let's talk cryptocurrency. Tell them your name, what's your organization, your company,
Sure, yeah.
and also a website.
I'm John Baylor. I'm the founder of United Services Exchange. We're a crypto exchange for the military, and we've been around for a couple months now, and we're about to push out 5 different exchanges. They'll go all over the globe. We're pretty excited about it.
Man, Zach, you know, the price of Bitcoin has dropped down so far. It was like way up there. Now it's gone down so far, I'm afraid to do anything.
What are you talking about? A couple of years ago, it was $2,500
Yeah. true.
Yeah.
per Bitcoin.
A year ago.
Yeah. The exciting part is that you could buy a Porsche now with
But a year
Dogecoin or something
but a
like that.
year ago.
Yeah.
But you're like cherry picking what date you're comparing it to.
Yeah. True.
And
Okay.
anytime before that, it was below, $8,000 for the longest time.
Right.
Yeah.
But then when it went up to like 60 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I hope you didn't buy at that point.
No, of course
not. But if you bought at any other point,
You're good to go.
probably up.
Hey, you should
Okay.
buy now. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. You hear that? So don't come over to the shop complaining to me when you purchase your cryptocurrency because you heard us talk about it on the show. Don't UPS, FedEx, no, my different companies out there. You're delivering to us. You're like, I bought some cryptocurrency because I heard you talking about it on the radio show, and now it's down to
Yep.
Was it 24 grand now?
now it's
Yeah,
down to
it's
like
about at
24
22,
grand.
23.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, when you get on this train, you better get on this train at the right stop. If not,
Exactly.
you're going to get done.
And Mike,
Mhm.
you accept Bitcoin
Yeah.
and Ethereum for gun purchases.
And
right?
Litecoin.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
very
Litecoin.
nice.
We accept everything. Doge, whatever you got. We'll take
We'll,
it all.
we'll make it work.
Blood.
Yeah.
urine,
Fingers,
Urine.
Blood coin? Is that a
Liver.
coin?
Everything.
liver. We'll do liver transfers for AR-15s.
There's so many coins you can't say on air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a coin for you, all right. That's right. So, anyway, so the military exchange, what is it called again?
It's United Services Exchange.
United Services Exchange.
Yeah, we focus on the veterans right now, and we're going to branch out to other sectors of the world. We're going to start with South America and then Asia and India and things like that. So
All right.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. You got to go where the money is,
Absolutely. Doesn't like
That's
being
fun.
in the military and need to buy some services and use some cryptocurrency. I'm telling you right now. Shut
What
up.
kind of service you
Shut
talking
up,
about?
Gary. Shut up. Just be quiet.
So how does your exchange differ from other ones like, Binance and
Well, we
Gemini? All
yeah we cater to the military, so the
Like,
rest don't. So
Mhm.
those.
yeah,
How do you?
it's
How's
like
that
you ever
different?
heard of USAA or
Uh-huh.
yeah, it was just like
So do you
that.
give military discount or what do you?
Yeah, the first month is free for the members, and then from there you move on to your fees and things like that. So yeah, it's just like USA or what's that Black Rifle Coffee. similar to that. You know, we cater to that sector of the.
No, I don't know who they are. They wouldn't come on the radio show, so don't talk about them.
Sorry, never mind.
Screw them. Don't like Black
We
Rifle
support
Company.
No Remorse Coffee Company.
That's who I support.
Yep.
Those little bastards over there, they wouldn't come on the show. I sent them a nasty Facebook
You know who started No Remorse Coffee Company, right?
Who?
Kyle Page.
Did he really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I support No Remorse
Yes.
Coffee Company. No Remorse
Michael,
Coffee
that's
Company.
not- I don't think it's.
Is it noremorse.com? What is it?
Oh, it doesn't exist.
Oh, well, we'll find out.
Not
It
yet.
will soon.
We'll get back to you.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
who
in
we're
works.
supporting.
Yeah.
No, those are little bastards. We're not supporting them at all. We're not going to support them at all.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So, yeah.
so our military veterans.
Yeah. You know, the inflation these days, gas prices. Actually, I think gas is going down these days, right?
It is.
A little bit.
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Because we're buying from other countries.
Yep.
The terrorists. So that, yeah, hey,
Imperialist,
gotta go where it is,
imperialist dogs.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and food prices I think are going down a little bit too, right?
That's
Has to
right.
do with the gas prices.
So you
going
guys
up.
do just like, is it just Bitcoin? Is it, you know,
It's
what
all
is
of them. We got about 2,000 coins.
2,000 coins?
Yeah, and it supports the major ones, of course. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you know, Doge.
And so what's your idea? What's your goal? What are you trying to accomplish?
To be a multi-billionaire.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm kidding. No. This is I'm military myself, so you know I'm retired military. I did 20 years, and so the whole point of it is to help out the guys that my fellow brothers and sisters out there. You know, with trying to give back. When all the profits that we make from the company, we give 10% back to the veterans. So you know we're here to help them out, and it's a good thing. You know, especially here in Austin, you got some veterans down here. They're trying to help out, and I think they're doing a pretty good job helping out and getting these guys off the streets, and it's a good thing for everyone.
All right, we're talking about cryptocurrency. We're talking about our veterans. We're talking about supporting the veterans and helping them with their cryptocurrency transactions. We're talking about should you pull a gun on skateboarders. We're talking about a woman who shoots a deputy after she gets out of handcuffs. This is Michael Cargill. I'm a U.S. Army veteran with a strong sense of duty and respect for our system of government. After 12 years, I was honorably discharged and decided I would fulfill the American dream of entrepreneurship and open up a gun shop in Austin, Texas. At my shop, I teach people to be law-abiding and how to safely use their firearm. On page 46, we're going to talk about Penal Code Section 46.02. The day that ban went into effect, I went into my local ATF in Austin and turned over my bump stock because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I wasn't going down without a legal fight. So that's why I reached out to NCLA.
NCLA is representing Michael Cargill because federal agencies do not have the power to rewrite statutes. Bump stocks are not machine guns. If Congress wants to change the law and ban bump stocks, it certainly can do so. But we can't have the executive branch rewriting a statute and putting people in jail for up to 10 years.
It's a problem because, this government agency has said, you know what, something that is legal is now illegal, and we're going to confiscate it from you, and we're not going to compensate you for it, and you're going to become a criminal.
The goal of our case here is to tell the ATF that they can't get away with this kind of administrative lawmaking. This isn't constitutionally permissible, and this goes against everything that our nation was founded on.
The bump stock ban turned innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight, even though they were compliant with the statute. And that's not right.
This case is not about where you stand on bump stocks. It's about the rule of law. It's about whether an agency can rewrite a statute and turn a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. If the ATF can ban bump stocks, any agency can ban anything.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so we're back and we're talking about, you know what? Let's go to Oklahoma. That's where I want to go to. Oklahoma. So check this out. A woman escapes handcuffs in a cruiser, shoots deputy with an AR-15. Okay. I want to get your thoughts on this. So apparently she gets arrested for what I do not know. Bless you, Rona. Bless you, Rona again.
Yeah, at least I know it's not monkeypox.
My goodness. Okay, now that we all have Rona.
Why would you do that?
So she gets arrested for what we do not know, and they handcuff her, put her in the back of the cruiser. She gets loose from the handcuffs, and she gets the officer's AR-15, figures out how to put her around in the chamber. She charges it, and she shoots 10 rounds, shooting at the deputy and also a civilian. Let me tell you. What are your thoughts on this, folks?
How'd she fired 10 rounds?
10 bullets.
Wait, wasn't it one of them hit?
So let's see.
I'm pretty sure you got shot.
Fragments, I think.
10 rounds.
Was the deputy in the
Grazed
car?
by bullet fragments.
No, he was
No,
out.
everybody was outside. Yeah, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, somebody actually got hit, and the whole commentary on Twitter, because I was watching this, was, wait, I thought AR-15s were designed to tear somebody in half when they get hit by a 5.56 round.
That's only if you're watching it on CNN. Okay?
It'll tear
If
you
you're
up,
getting your
but-
news from CNN, then that's what happened.
This is CNN.
He's got that on
The
deck.
dummies.
I like
when
that.
it
Good
comes
one,
to news.
Casey.
She probably
That's right.
shot out the windows and probably did some major damage. You know? If she's inside, right? She's shooting out. So
Oh, yeah, she's inside.
Those glasses. are
Cray Cray
probably-
1, Karen over and out.
And what does Sheila Jackson Lee say about the AR-15? That it's as heavy as 10 boxes that you would be moving.
Yeah,
and
she's-
fires 50 caliber ammunition.
Yeah,
Shut your mouth.
She's dumber than a box of rocks, let me tell you. Yeah,
Lift
that's
for
if that's
moving.
your grandmother, you got problems. Okay, I'm telling you right now, she needs to retire. I'm just putting it out there. Don't call me, don't email me, don't send me postcards. She needs to retire. Okay,
Agreed.
It is what it is. All right, so let's see. So when we detain somebody, they actually go in handcuffs, according to the police department. They place you in a back seat of a patrol car, according to the Grady County Undersheriff Gary Bogus. I want to talk to the sheriff. I don't want to talk to the under the sheriff. I need to talk to the big dog in charge. I need to give you need to give us a statement of what exactly happened. While in the back seat of a patrol car, she was able to get her wrist free from the handcuffs, and the handcuffs were put on properly. Not if you got free.
Nope.
Clearly.
I call Bravo Sierra.
Unless she is Mrs. Flexible.
That's right. If it was on properly, she wouldn't have been able to get free. You know, we sometimes we teach security around here. We teach handcuffing.
Behind her back, too.
Yeah, if you can get out of your handcuffs, they're not on properly.
Nope.
She was able to reach up on her, on our console, and there's several switches. One is a gun switch to unlock the gun lock, and she found it, unlocked the gun lock, and was able to retrieve an AR-15. Then she was able to figure out how to put a round in it, put it on fire, and she fired approximately 10 rounds at our deputies and a civilian.
Ooh, boy.
Back to the drawing board, to the training for that sheriff department.
Agreed.
Isn't there a divider between the back seat and the front seat? too?
Usually there is.
Yeah.
There's a divider. And let me
She
tell you.
somehow managed to squeeze through that, too.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Maybe they should hire her. or
Press
something.
A to crouch and B to squeeze through tight spaces.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you now.
Be a consultant.
Yeah. Excuse me. Can I be a
Yeah.
temporary sheriff? What do you call that when you're
Deputized. Can I get deputized?
Oh, Barty Fife over here. Let me tell you. Okay. So you're going to talk to us about the Vepr, right?
Well, the main reason I brought this puppy was because, well, A, number one, she's one of my faves. Used to have one. And number two was to really irritate somebody who has been recently on Twitter. Working for Giffords.
Oh, who is this?
This would be a Mr. Ryan Debussy, ex-executive for Kimber. now turned Everytown a Shannon Watts. How would I put this? Alpha Sierra Sierra kisser.
That's that Giffords. It's Giffords organization. So there's a video of this guy.
And to clarify, this is an organization to stop gun violence.
All right. Well, let's take a look.
They say that they are.
Let's take a listen to the video. Take a listen to this.
I worked in the firearms industry for 25 years.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna play this video for you because it's funny. You got to take a listen to this and see what he's talking about, and then I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. Okay. All right. So it's the Giffords organization, and he's like a manufacturer or something like that.
Ex-executive for Kimber.
Okay. Take a listen to this.
I worked in the firearms industry for 25 years. I helped build a firearms company, but that doesn't mean I'm against responsibility. In America, we have freedoms and responsibilities, and those two things have to be balanced. And something as immense as firearms ownership requires an immense responsibility, and it's important that we embrace that responsibility. I'm worried that the NRA and the industry has embraced extremism and radicalization as a way to sell more guns, and I believe it's our responsibility as gun owners to stand up and set the record straight.
So what are your thoughts on that, Zach?
So he's basically an idiot.
Why? He's just saying he wants gun owners to be more responsible.
How so? He wants common sense gun reform, I bet, too, doesn't he?
Yeah. They always use those keywords.
Which is a euphemism.
His wife probably also has a boyfriend on the side.
Oh!
So,
fighting words.
He ain't gonna fight me, that's for sure.
That's right, because he doesn't believe in gun violence.
You certainly don't believe in gun violence.
You don't get shot by him, you're
He's gonna
good.
get shot by me.
When you equate a suppressor to big phallus energy, which is something he actually said on Twitter.
Really?
As a compensation device.
Wait, that's what you were supposed to send me. Pull that up.
I definitely will.
Pull that up.
What was it?
It was Primary Weapon Systems, BDE, Bravo Delta Echo, which is it's a baffle detachment enhanced suppressor. So you basically modify it by as few baffles as you want, as many baffles as you want, to either increase the length, decrease the length. Highly modular. And basically,
we don't like decreasing the length. We like increasing the length.
We like length here. Come and talk it.
Sorry, just putting it out there. Okay. It's on Sunday.
But anyway, what was literally said, and part of this is NSFW. For those who know my Twitter page, you all know what NSFW is. But anywho, let's see, tweets and replies.
In my head, I'm trying to picture that.
No, I'm not turning it. I'm not turning my phone to the screen. No, not going there.
Oh, please. Well, actually, they can see your screen.
Yeah,
there's a camera
behind
you.
Directly behind you there, Chief.
Yeah, directly behind you.
Arg! You did not see anything. Shut it.
Oh my goodness! I hope you guys did not see that.
Shut it, Baka.
Now, Casey's smart enough not to switch the camera behind.
I definitely
Matthew
appreciate
over
that.
here.
Now, let's see. Where am I at? This is probably like a couple days ago. Might just try to.
So once he finds that, we're also going to talk about Las Vegas. Man, there was a crazy shooting in Las Vegas, where this guy hijacks. He steals a vehicle. He drives through Las Vegas. Shooting at police officers. He's trying to steal other cars. And jump out of one vehicle into another vehicle. People that are just on the road as he's running from the police. Let me tell you, it was a crazy scene in Las Vegas. Only in Las Vegas this happened. Matter of fact, isn't that where they're finding those bodies in the lake?
Mm-hmm.
That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Boy, what happens in the dark will soon come to light.
Yeah.
When there's a drought.
When the body bloats and floats, right?
It smells wonderful.
They
too,
didn't
I'm sure.
float up. The lake there's a drought. So the lake dried up.
Yeah.
And the bodies were discovered.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that too. But you know what? We don't have enough time. We come back from the other break. We'll go into that Las Vegas video. I don't want to go into it right now. We don't have enough time. All right. So what are you trying to pull up for us?
So, what happened was, Primary Weapon Systems had done an advertisement about their brand new Bravo Delta
Primary
Echo.
Weapon System. Who is that?
They make high-end AR-15 AK parts.
Okay.
One of our the MK1 PWS MK1 is very popular. A lot of
Are they
their
out of Florida?
high-end stuff.
Are they in Florida?
I believe they are.
that's
But
Nice.
what happened was they came out with this brand new suppressor that is highly modular. You can basically modify it for almost anything.
Okay.
And the acronym for this is Bravo Delta Echo. They don't really explain what Bravo Delta Echo means. My personal guess is that it's about
Got it. I know what that means.
no, my
You don't know what that means?
baffle
Nope.
detachment enhanced.
They may say that, but I think it means something else.
Well,
no, I know.
Can I
But,
elaborate?
but what you're
Why
saying
would you
is
do that?
that's what he thinks that means.
yes, he thinks it means
Okay.
big phallic.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
Means big detachment energy.
Got
Yes.
it.
Mhm. And it is about compensation
Happy
for
Sunday.
small anatomy.
Y'all stressing me out right now. That's all I'm saying. It's stressing me out. I'm
Man,
just
imagine
thinking-
how Casey feels right
I know.
now.
He's like his hands on the button. he's like,
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Here we go
Watch
again.
Am I dumping it? Am I
Watch
dumping
it.
it?
Five,
Am I
4.
dumping
Oh
it?
boy.
Oh my goodness. So okay. So that's what he thinks.
Yep, that's what he thinks. And almost 90% of the people are absolutely saying you're incorrect. Stop. You're out of the business already. Just keep working for Giffords and stop saying you're a part of the industry. You're not. And my favorite is every single time he comes on, 90% of his response tweets are people dropping their 3D printed lower builds. Seriously, no, it's like, this is cool. Now take a look at this 3D printed AR-15 I just made. So my request is, whenever he comes on, people, spam his quote retweets with print, shoot, repeats. HK slap video?
Did we find that tweet to put it up on the screen?
Not yet. I am still hunting it down, unfortunately. But I
Okay.
think my
go
tape-
ahead and do that.
He'll find it and we'll come back to it. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about repeat felons in Austin, Texas. Repeat felons, you know those people that go out there and commit a shooting and then go to another place and do something else and get arrested all in the same night. That's what we're talking about. And also Las Vegas. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
My name is Jose Garza, and I'm humbled to be your district attorney.
Hi, this is Stephen Williford, the Barefoot Defender. I get my global gun news from Michael Cargill at Come and Talk It.
Whether it's a typical traffic stop or you're just involved in a use of force incident, encounters with law enforcement can be scary and stressful. In the heat of the moment, you may inadvertently say something you don't mean or make an inconsistent statement. These are red flags for officers, and if they think you're lying or your story doesn't add up, they might arrest you and let the criminal justice system decide your fate. Police officers are trained to get information from you without making the interaction seem like a formal interrogation. But remember, from the moment an officer arrives on scene, everything you say and everything you do will be scrutinized in court. The prosecuting attorney will attempt to use anything and everything against you. So what do you say? You say, I invoke my right to remain silent, and then let your attorney interact with law enforcement on your behalf. One important note though, do not throw common sense out the window. For example, if the intruder's hiding somewhere in your house when the police arrive, or if you saw the perpetrator pitch his weapon into your backyard, quickly tell the police and then stop talking. You might ask, what about my rights? What if the police never read me my Miranda rights? Miranda rights is the common name for a collection of rights contained in the Miranda warnings, given to suspects when they're placed under arrest. The warning comes from a 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona. In that case, the court held that statements from a custodial interrogation would not be admissible unless proper procedural safeguards were in place to protect the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights. We've all seen these warnings on TV and movies. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and so on. So do police have to read you your rights? No. It's important to note that officers are not required to read you these rights unless you're in custody and subjected to interrogation. If the police show up to a crime scene and start asking you general questions and you voluntarily tell them everything that happened, those statements can be used against you regardless of the Miranda warnings because you're not in custody. If you're put in handcuffs, but you say something incriminating on your own without being questioned, those statements can and will be used against you because you're not being interrogated. You're just starting to spout off. This is why it's imperative that you know your rights, and you shouldn't rely on the police to read them to you. Affirmatively invoke your rights. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent, and my right to my attorney. Once you do that, the police legally shouldn't continue questioning you without your attorney present.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
That's right. We're back and we're talking about, you know what? Let's go to Las Vegas. Man, I miss Vegas. I haven't been there in a while since pre-pandemic. You been to Vegas, Gary?
No comment.
Interesting.
Happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas. Right?
Yeah, there's a story there. Something's going on right there. Yeah, that's what they always say. So let's go to Las Vegas. So apparently, and let's roll this video here. So this dude in Las Vegas, this is a wild police chase. This happened like literally 4 days ago, where a suspect leads the Las Vegas police on a violent car chase to the point that he's shooting at civilians. He's shooting at the police. He's pulling up on,
While driving?
While driving.
That's impressive.
Oh, very impressive.
Yeah.
He's pulling up next to people at red lights and parking lots trying to steal their cars, to run from the police.
Right,
and
right.
he's trying to get away. And
Must have lost at the craps table or something.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to do any and everything to stop this guy. And so it's a really crazy scene, really crazy. So it's like one point, he pulls up next to someone, he jumps out his vehicle, and I'm telling you, this is the thing you guys got to think about. When you're driving around and going about your day, I love to get in my vehicle, listen to my music, and jam out. Just get in the middle lane and just ride out. I love that. And sing along with the music and everything. But what I always do is I keep my windows locked, my doors locked, and my windows up.
Windows up. Yeah.
That's right. While I'm driving, because I
You
don't
don't
wanna,
know.
you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's
It
going
can
on
happen
around
quick
you.
too. Yeah.
And
Out
people
of the
say, well, you know what, Michael? I don't drive in bad areas. I'm never in bad areas. So I only carry my gun when I'm going to bad areas.
Sometimes it finds you.
Exactly. So sometimes, those little cases, those incidents, those, certain situations find you, at that intersection where you are in your great neighborhood. And so you don't want to be that person that, sees something like this. So, this guy, he's doing everything he possibly can to get away from police. Now, there are a couple things you got to remember. Okay, if you're going to be that person who shoots out of a windshield, just remember this. When you're shooting out of a windshield, the bullet's going to hit that windshield and it's going to change the direction that the bullet goes.
Yeah.
We don't know which direction that's going to go. You know why? Because vehicles nowadays have so much technology, where it tries to protect you during a crash.
Yeah.
So you don't know where the bullet's going to go. It can go anywhere. It can go, slightly left, right, down, whatever. You just don't know. And do you know that when you're, I can't tell you. Can't tell you some of the secrets. There's so many different secrets of, when you're shooting at a vehicle, and different things that the bullet goes when it hits the vehicle, like hitting the windshield, what it does,
Splinters.
when it hits a hood, what it does. There's so many different weird things like that. So this guy's he goes to the parking lot of a strip center, and he's going, looking around, looking for someone trying to steal their car. This chase is just going on, and it's high speed. He's going 200%, forward. He's just trying to, get away from police at all, no matter what. He's trying to do whatever he possibly can. Shooting at the cops, shooting at civilians, directing their attention other places, totally insane, But eventually they finally bring it to a halt when this guy, actually hits another police car head on.
Oof.
That'll
Ouch.
do it.
Head on.
That'll do it.
At full speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did it for the cop and also did it for him. So,
Oh, really?
I
Killed them both?
Yeah, no. They weren't. They didn't die, but it was
okay.
just, they're just
Messed up.
crazy. Yeah, crazy case, crazy scene. And in a situation like that, you just have to get off the road and get out of the way and lock your doors.
Oh, yeah.
Get away from crazy people like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So also, well, Matt, you know what? So what were we talking about? Did you find that video?
I found I just sent you the tweet.
Okay.
It wasn't a video. It was just a very simple comment.
Very simple comment. Okay. And
I swear the anti-gun types have this weird fascination with the male anatomy.
And what were we talking about again? We were talking about the primary weapon system,
BDE.
Yeah, so they have this suppressor that they've named the BDE something, and this guy
7.62.
tweeted that that it was a compensation device that it's Trumpish. It stands for
phallic,
big, you know,
big,
right?
The energy,
right. And yeah, that's what we were trying to pull up earlier. If you want to read that or show it up on the stream there.
Yeah. Well, Ryan. Okay. Yeah, we'll send this to Casey and have Casey show on the screen. We doing the next segment there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to talk about Austin, Texas.
What about Austin, Texas?
Austin, Texas. Where what's that guy's name? Jose who?
My name is Jose Garza, and I'm humbled to be your district attorney.
Jose?
Jose.
He said Jose?
Jose.
Okay. All right, well, Jose Garza. And let me tell you, okay, so this guy, I'm telling you, if you vote for this guy back in office again, hey, I'm all for you. Honestly, I'm not even going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it because, he's good for business.
Oh, yeah.
Jose Garza, the district attorney, is great for business.
How so?
People are running to the gun store to buy a gun because these criminals are running rampant and they're not being held accountable. They're not being prosecuted in this town. Yeah. And so people are going to the gun store to buy guns to take their own personal protection in their own hands.
I've always had this theory that a lot of these liberals are actually somehow in cahoots with the gun manufacturers. And by announcing that they want to get rid of guns, they're actually boosting the demand for guns.
You would
guns
think
are
so.
sold,
They buy the stock
and
first.
then they get sold out, so the supply dwindles, but the demand stays high, and they can resell these guns for more money. I mean, I'm no Alex Jones, but if somebody pitched that idea to me, I'd say, hey, that sounds like a good way to make money.
Nice marketing tool.
I'm not a conspiracist, but I'm telling you.
The ammo stock, the company that makes the ammo.
Insider trading, anybody?
Yeah, they got to be in on it. I'm telling you right now, because they say stuff like that. The president says stuff like that. It always the same response. Is always given.
Yeah, it's like when the newest craze is these Estavas and the Wasser 10s, because everybody's like, well, if the assault weapons ban doesn't go through, they're going to push an imported weapons ban, meaning all your AK manufacturers from overseas will be terminated. Or at least the importation of their firearms will be terminated. No more Turkish firearms, no more Arsenal Bulgarians, no more Polish, no more Romanian.
3D make that or no?
You could 3D make that. It's just it's not going to be possibly the same measurements as the actual proper receivers.
Okay.
So there will be a little bit more slop and spacing issues.
Loosey-goosey type stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to jingle.
It's going to jingle. It's like the homemade AK-12 versus the properly rewelded, demilled AK-12.
It's not going to fit tight. We like for it to fit tight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go back to Austin, Texas. All right, so the suspect the suspect in an August 6th Austin homicide was out of jail on personal bonds in 2 different counties for multiple felony charges when he shot 2 other men, killing one and paralyzing the other. So let me say that again. The suspect in an August 6th Austin, Texas homicide was out of jail on a personal bond in 2 different counties for multiple felony charges when he shot 2 other men, killing one and paralyzing the other.
Austin is one of the 5 safest big cities in the country.
And I ran to this nutcase last night, boy. Let me tell you, during the parade.
And this guy was out on $4,000 bond, right?
Yeah, that's it. I'm like,
Personal
That's
bond.
it.
Is that the
personal
responsibility?
And then he committed his new alleged crime, and now he's out he's not out, but he has $1 million bond, right?
I'm going about it the
Bail.
wrong way. I need to change gears.
Bail bondsman.
So this is this response? Is this what they're gonna hold me to? That's it. That's the threshold. Well, you know what? Shoot. Stand by. Ready on the left. Listen, what is it?
Looks right.
556 send off. What is it?
It is a 115 grain send off.
115 send off. There you go. Shots were fired after a fight broke out in a parking lot on East 7th Street in Austin, Texas, right across the street from the Arch. 1 block from the Austin Police Department.
How long did it take officers to respond to that, by the way?
Deonsus Thompson was killed, and Josh Noriega was left paralyzed. The suspect is Nathan Neva Ramirez, charged with murder and aggravated assault. So Ramirez fled the scene, but was later identified by another individual involved in the scuffle and Halo surveillance cameras as having been present when shots were fired. Ramirez allegedly shot both Thompson and Noriega, and police arrested him, and an hour later that day at his apartment. He was hiding under the bed.
Why do they always hide under the bed?
Can you please remind the viewers at home what a Halo surveillance camera is?
All right, so the Halo system is a system that the police department uses in Austin, Texas, Halo, at all the different major intersections. So a lot of different intersections or key points around town, they have cameras. And so the 911 facility has access to these cameras. And so they can go back and pull up the footage. They can look at stuff real time and assist officers on the scene when something's going down. So you don't have to have a helicopter, flying overhead. We got the Halo. That camera system, so we can see what's going on there. They also have Shot Spotter. When shots are fired, they can direct. Yeah, they know the direction.
Echolocation.
So I just want to point something out here. So if you really cared about stopping gun violence, as the Gifford Foundation or whatever they're called says they want to, they would actually be more concerned about guns that are being stolen, because this is a felon who's unlawfully carrying a weapon, and I would bet my bottom dollar that he stole this gun.
Or got
to mention that
we come back from the break, we're going to talk about that and more. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
This is Coleon Noir, and you're listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.
He didn't act that way. He never flinched. He went for his pockets. And when he went for his pockets, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, Hi, my name's Jerry. The incident we're going to talk about took place in early March of 2017. Started back about 3 years ago. We had a fella in the neighborhood that nobody really knew. We weren't familiar with him, and he was pretty regular about speeding up and down the street. It escalated into more speeding, threats. He chunked some rocks up into the yard and broke my windshield in my truck, and it escalated from that into death threats. And he was constantly chirping about how he was gonna end it, and he was gonna kill so-and-so, he was gonna kill me, and it was all chirping. The day of the confrontation, I was leaving the neighborhood and heading to a meeting downtown Fort Worth. It was a beautiful day, I had my windows down, I was in my Suburban. As I was heading out, just about to leave my neighborhood, this guy comes into the neighborhood, sees me coming out, pulls into my lane, causes me to stop, and then he kind of cut at an angle in front of me and jumped out of his truck and ran at the side of my Suburban, saying, "Today's the day you're gonna die, he's gonna end it." He comes over and he's slamming his hands up against the side of my vehicle, my truck. But he's screaming at me, telling me he's gonna kill me, he's gonna end it, this is the day I'm gonna die. He reaches in to try and open up my door. I grabbed my weapon, I put my weapon right at his chest at the window and told him to get back, told him to get the hell back. And he never did. He never moved, he never changed anything. He went for his pockets, shuffling into his pockets, and he pulls out his cell phone. I drove off around and called 911 before I got to the end of my street. Yeah, I've carried a weapon for pretty near 20 years, and I've never had to pull my weapon out. Now, I can tell you that when you do that, it's the emotions are incredible. You feel the flush come through your body because you just pulled a weapon on somebody, you're pointing a gun at somebody, and they don't move. And that's a whole nother, they didn't say, whoa, I'm stop, like anybody that you'd think would do that, but he didn't act that way. He never flinched. He went for his pockets, and when he went for his pockets, I thought my heart was gonna stop. I was actually told that if he would have pulled out a gun, he'd have shot me before I could have actually pulled the trigger, and that's pretty awakening. I contacted Texas Law Shield and spoke with them and got a statement that I wrote, and I turned it in the following day. And it was subsequent to that I was told that I was gonna be arrested for deadly conduct, and Texas Law Shield stepped up to the plate, and they got in my corner and handled it from there.
Factually, the case was unique because Jerry never got out of his vehicle, but was still forced to pull his weapon and defend himself. And you don't see that often. Usually, a self-defense case, both people are outside the vehicle.
They ended up arresting me. Texas Law Shield got me out in a matter of a very few hours.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so we're talking about a suspect in Austin, Texas. Back in August the 6th, Austin homicide was out of jail on a personal bond in 2 different counties for multiple felony charges when he shot 2 other men, killing one and paralyzing the other.
Okay, so what I was saying is that if the people on the left side of the political spectrum and people like Shannon Watts and Everyday Town, what's that? Everytown, if they actually cared about really preventing gun violence, they would take measures to prevent people from running for office that are light on criminals, like Jose Garza, who lets people back out of jail after they commit violent crimes because this was committed by a felon who shouldn't have legally owned a gun anyways. And the odds are the gun was stolen. That's the guy? Good God.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about like the mass shooting we had here in Austin, Texas over a year ago, where that guy actually was involved in the shooting prior to that.
But even then, look, if you want to talk about like mass shootings in general, most mass shootings are committed by gangbangers. There's mass shootings in Chicago all the time, and most of those guns are stolen. But they focus on the legal guns because they have an ulterior motive. And what that is, you can only speculate, but they have an ulterior motive, and that is to get legal guns off the street. They don't care about the illegal.
Take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
It sounds like these left-leaning folks and the criminals have that in common, that they want the law-abiding citizen to be disarmed, right?
Yeah, so the majority of your gun crimes are committed by repeat offenders. That's what you're saying, that are not being prosecuted.
Absolutely, and the majority of gun crimes, I would also say, if you take suicides out of it, which I don't think are technically even a crime anyways.
Nope.
Are committed with stolen guns.
Yep.
Yeah, the media, they don't like to talk about suicide.
No, they don't want to. They don't like to talk about anything that's true. Nope. That's why we're here, right, Matthew?
Yep.
That's right.
Did you know that 1% of the population is accountable for 63% of all violent crime convictions?
Really? 1%?
1%.
Wow. Crazy. All right, so let's go back to this the thing that you were talking about, Matthew, where you're discussing the primary weapon system. So explain that to me one more time. We're going to show this tweet.
Yes. So Primary Weapon Systems has come out with this. It's called the B Bravo Delta Echo 762. So it's a 762 millimeter or 30 caliber suppressor that is modular in both the number of baffles you can use and also modular to the thread pitch depending on what firearm you want to use it for, because it can go from anywhere from 5.56 NATO to 338 Lapua Magnum. And so my personal guess, is that Primary Weapon Systems using the Bravo Delta Echo acronym to stand for Baffle Detachable Enhancement. So that's where your the ability to modulate the number of baffles you have for sound reduction.
I don't know. It kind of looks like a vibrator to me. I don't know if I can-
watch it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolute baka right
so,
here.
yeah, it depends on how you look at it. It depends on what your mindset's like.
Now, as all your leftists like to say, and all your anti-gun types tend to be, apparently it's a compensation device for small anatomy.
Okay. All right. So we'll see what that company has to say about that. So we'll come back to that later on in the month, and we'll see what's going on. All right. So let's change gears a little bit. So the remains found in a suitcase.
I did not actually read that story. I just added it into the doc because it looked so crazy. Did we already talk about the skateboarder?
Yep.
We did talk about that? Okay, I
Yeah.
must have been on a phone call. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mister, I don't pay attention over here.
All right. So remains found in a suitcase bought at auction belonged to his school-aged children. So so these human remains were discovered in a suitcase bought in by a family at an auction last week, belonging to children. According to the police in New Zealand, they announced this past week. Police said that they were alerted to the case last week when the family from the South Auckland suburb of Manura reported finding somewhat of a human body parts and several items they bought from a storage facility. Initial post-mortem examinations have been carried out, and the results show that the remains found in 2 suitcases are that of 2 primary school-aged children, according to a statement released by the authorities. And in a news conference the day earlier, Detective Inspector Tofu Famila Valeria said the children probably were ages 5 to 10.
Can you say that again for me?
No, I won't. Nope, because I made that up. Ages 5 to 10 and may have been dead for a number of years.
Good Lord.
Ooh, wow.
Fully decomposed.
We
Good
obviously
Lord.
are focusing on wrong things. I'm telling you, there's some really gruesome crimes out there, and people are just not talking about it.
Nope.
Ooh, that's just disgusting. All right, so let's go to Georgia Man. All right, did you read that story, Georgia Man? All right, I guess not. Okay, so a Georgia man was indicted on homicide by vessel charges after a Memorial Day weekend boat collision that killed 5 people. Mark Stiegel was indicted on 10 counts. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 counts of first-degree homicide by a vessel on Wednesday. The 45-year-old was also indicted on 6 counts. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counts of serious injury by a vessel boating under the influence and reckless operation. So,
Good Lord.
Back on May 28th, the boat collision on the Wellington River left 4 members of the Leffler family, Chris, 51, his wife, Lori, 50, and their son, Zach, 23, and Nate, 17, dead. Good Lord. Robert Chauncey, a passenger in Stiegel's boat, also died, and 4 others were injured. Stiegel was arrested and charged with boating under the influence at the time of the wreck. Man, that's crazy.
Hey, there was another Georgia guy who was dressing up like a priest and molesting people. Did you see that?
Good Lord.
What the?
Yeah.
That's right.
Older black gentleman. Kind of looks like you a little bit.
Watch it.
Marco Aries Johnson, 46.
What's his name?
Good grief.
Marco Aries Johnson. He is suspected of raping women while posing as a priest in Georgia.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
At least it wasn't little boys.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Although I guess it's bad either way, huh?
Oh,
Feel bad, Gary.
That's bad.
Absolutely.
Gary.
Well, I'm trying to save the children.
Really,
Wood
Gary?
chipper.
Really?
No matter what, wood chipper.
Bad anyway, Gary.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
All right, so you're going to get your Florida man. So a Florida man, girlfriend of a Florida college student. Let's talk about this one. So the girlfriend of a Florida college student shot and killed in Alabama by a woman pretending to need help is calling him a hero.
Wait, what?
Adam Simchi and his girlfriend, Michaela Paulus, both students at the University of Central Florida, were driving along in a road when they were flagged down by a woman later identified as Yasmin Hyder, who asked the couple if they could give her some assistance to help get her car started. When the couple attempted to assist Hyder, she produced a gun and made the couple walk back into the woods for an attempted robbery. And Clay County Sheriff's Office released says that at some point that the hider walked them at gunpoint into the wood line, and Simji produced a handgun that was concealed on her person. There was an exchange of gunfire, during which the suspect was shot multiple times, and Simji was struck by gunfire as well and died at the scene. And Paulus was not injured in the gunfire exchange and was able to call for help, as well as tell the investigators about the second suspect who was watching nearby during the incident.
So the perpetrator was killed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
It's like Ted Bundy stuff.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of crazy stuff. No, the suspect was killed.
Oh, the suspect killed. Yeah. Okay, the one who flagged him down, right?
Yep.
Something like that. All right. So what else we got? Pence. What is the story on Mike Pence?
He said he might accept the invitation to testify about January 6th.
I thought he was going to run for president.
Oh, God, that guy. Nobody would vote for him.
You don't think anybody would vote for Mike Pence?
I wouldn't vote for Mike Pence.
Why not? What's wrong with Mike Pence?
I know you wouldn't vote for him.
Why do you know?
Because he hates the gays.
Well, I hate the gays too. Don't send me any emails. Don't call me.
Don't text. Don't email.
Text.
Don't Skype. Don't nothing.
That's right.
No postcards either.
We don't care. So former Vice President Mike Pence on Wednesday said he would consider an invitation to appear before the House committee investigating the January 6, 2021 riot at the Capitol, but cautioned that he would have to weigh it against the unprecedented nature of a vice president testifying on Capitol Hill, because that would be unprecedented.
It's all fake news.
Oh, my goodness. You don't miss a beat, do you? Don't miss a beat.
Nope.
All right, so a paralyzed kid. Let's talk about this real quick. So paralyzed kid, what is that all about? You don't know either?
This kid was shot, and he is. If Zach actually had the show doc up, I'd be able to read it. But
all right, so 6
he
weeks
doesn't.
after getting shot at a 4th of July parade, an 8-year-old left paralyzed feels hopeless and angry as new reality sets in. 4 years old.
Oof.
Now,
Poor
the
guy.
reason that I added this in was because he said he feels angry and hopeless. But my son's 4 years old, and I've never heard him say anything like hopeless before. I don't think kids understand what that
That's
means.
not in the
So it sounds like he's
vocabulary.
being a little coached a little bit.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
because your kid is
very
like 4
coached.
years old. I took him to the range, and I was like, "Hey, fire!" He's like, "Bang, bang!" You know what I'm saying?
Well, we took him there 2 years ago, so he was 2 years old.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
We took him. He was 2 years old, and he was not scared, and he kept his finger off the trigger and everything.
That's right.
Good trigger discipline.
Great
You know that's actually being used against me in court right now.
Is it?
Yeah,
What?
thanks. You owe me lawyer money.
Sorry. Sorry to hear that, but he was a great shooter.
Yeah, he really was.
That's right.
Very, very safe.
We come back from the break. We got a couple more stories. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Hey, this is AWR Hawkins, Breitbart News, and you're listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.
I'm a U.S. Army veteran with a strong sense of duty and respect for our system of government. After 12 years, I was honorably discharged and decided I would fulfill the American dream of entrepreneurship and open up a gun shop in Austin, Texas. At my shop, I teach people to be law-abiding and how to safely use their firearm. On page 46, going to talk about Penal Code Section 46.02. The day that ban went into effect, I went into my local ATF in Austin and turned over my bump stock because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I wasn't going down without a legal fight. So that's why I reached out to NCLA.
NCLA is representing Michael Cargill because federal agencies do not have the power to rewrite statutes. Bump stocks are not machine guns. If Congress wants to change the law and ban bump stocks, it certainly can do so. But we can't have the executive branch rewriting a statute and putting people in jail for up to 10 years.
It's a problem because, this government agency has said, you know what, something that is legal is now illegal, and we're going to confiscate it from you, and we're not going to compensate you for it, and you're going to become a criminal.
The goal of our case here is to tell the ATF that they can't get away with this kind of administrative lawmaking. This isn't constitutionally permissible, and this goes against everything that our nation was founded on.
The bump stock ban turned innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight, even though they were complying with the statute. And that's not right.
This case is not about where you stand on bump stocks. It's about the rule of law. It's about whether an agency can rewrite a statute and turn a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. If the ATF can ban bump stocks, any agency can ban anything.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
So let's go over to, what state is this? I'm not sure yet, but a coalition of left-wing racial justice groups that includes the Black Lives Matter national organization has launched an initiative calling for the abolition of the U.S. prison system and the release of all prisoners, including multiple convicted cop killers. The Movement for Black Lives, a coalition of more than 50 groups, including the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, issued a blog post Thursday commemorating Black August, a controversial prison-based holiday founded in the 1960s by the Black guerrilla family. This week, in participation with our comrades at Malcolm X Group's movement, we're highlighting 5 current Black political prisoners to praise awareness and support for these warriors, according to their statement. We're calling on you to sign petitions, write letters, donate, and spread the word as we advocate for the release of all prisoners and the abolition of the prison industrial complex. Not lock those crazy folks up. They're murderers. That's right. They're murderers. Lock them up. Keep them locked up for a long time. Sorry. Not going to happen.
Throw away that key.
Don't write me letters. Don't call me. Don't email. Don't crank call. You crank call. I record those conversations.
Oh, we could do a few of those. Those are some fun ones.
Yeah, I'll play with you. I'll have that conversation with you. I'll say the crazy stuff you want me to say, and I record the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, craziness. Let's go to Phoenix, Arizona. What's going on with Arizona? Is it too hot over there? Is it like hotter than normal? Is that why these crazy things are happening in Arizona? So 1 man is dead and 4 other people were injured early Sunday after a mass shooting ended a late night party in Phoenix, Arizona, according to the news release from city police. As well as CNN, they define a mass shooting as an incident in which 4 people are shot, excluding the shooter. There have been more than 400 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, according to the archive. Now, I don't know. There needs to be a clarification on this definition because, there's a difference between shooting random people that you don't know and then having some type of disturbance and, going after people out of anger and shooting them, because you had a disturbance, that your food wasn't hot enough, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or someone pushed you, hit you, or something like that, and you end up shooting random. There should be a difference between those two, versus someone who walks into an elementary school and shoots elementary school kids, that you don't even know. That's a totally different class, and those people should not be put in that same level.
Yeah. Also, it's not number of people shot; it's number of people who actually died from the shooting. And what they're doing is they're mixing up the number of people shot with actually number of actual physical casualties.
Yeah, we don't
or
like
fatalities.
them.
I mean,
we don't like them anyway. We're taking our toys and we're gonna go home. All right, so a coalition of left-wing racial justice groups that includes the Black Lives Matter. What do you think about that, Gary?
What do I think about Black Lives Matter?
Yeah, and they want to release all the prisoners from prison.
I mean, it
Let 'em
depends
all
if they're,
out.
if they're violent offenders.
We're not talking about weed. We're not talking about small petty crimes. We're talking about murderers. Release the murderers.
Well,
are they crazy?
Well, yeah. Also, Black Lives Matters is it's a total like fraud organization, which we don't even have remotely enough time to get into that. They don't care about black people.
No, they don't. Yeah, most of the organizations don't typically.
What do they care about?
Money.
That's the bottom line.
I heard one of the executives basically in that organization bought a house for, what was it, $3 million?
Millions of dollars in an all-white neighborhood too, mind you.
Oh, good Lord.
Moving on up.
Speaking of racial
big house.
racial tensions in this country, did you hear about at like Berkeley or somewhere they banned white people from a certain common area on campus?
All right, what's wrong with that?
What do you mean? What's wrong with that? Michael, this is not 1960, no matter how much you want it to be. You cannot segregate people based on the color of their skin.
Oh, you can't?
It's not okay.
Okay, just checking.
That's why I like Waffle House.
Everybody's equally trapped.
Yep. Everybody's equally.
Everybody's equally
gets treated
abused.
equal there.
They really are.
At 3 a.m. at a Waffle House.
Equal opportunity
Yeah, people don't
offender.
see race at Waffle House.
They don't.
They'll
They'll
know
mess
how to
your
say it
order
without
up.
swearing on air. They will hurt you regardless.
He's trying, producer. He's trying.
I'm trying.
We're trying to be
Watch it.
civil here. We promise. We promise.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there. I went to Waffle House. I was ordering some stuff to go, and I walked in. And the lady's like, "Look here, okay."
She said, "Look here, boy.
We don't like taking to-go orders because y'all don't tip. You know, we're trying to take care of the customers that are in here right now. So you got a to-go order. You're just gonna have to wait." I was like, "Okay, well, I'll tip good too." You know, so
Did she spank you after that?
So she finally cooked. She cooked my food, and I tipped her really well. And she goes, "Okay, you can come back anytime, baby." I said, "Okay, thank you." You just got to treat them nice.
Yeah.
Got to be nice. To them.
Oh, I love Waffle House.
Oh, I
Every
lo-
time I go in there, some big black woman always goes, "Hi there, honey." I love it. It makes me feel special.
Goodness.
Just fuck you.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of that doing therapy. Okay, so Texas small town police department refused to apologize for a selfie of one of his officers snapped with Kyle Rittenhouse. Why? Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero. Why should they apologize for taking a selfie with Kyle Rittenhouse? Why? A slew of online criticism noting how the now 19-year-old was acquitted by a jury of his peers in August of 2020, shooting of 3 demonstrators in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Make those stops, you never know who you might meet. Today it was Kyle Rittenhouse. Welcome to Texas. The Thrall Police Department, which serves the city outside of Austin, wrote in Facebook post on Thursday. Man, they just right outside of Austin.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. They're over just outside
Did you
of.
know that Kyle Rittenhouse killed a man named Joseph Rosenbaum who loved children?
He defended himself.
He loved children.
Yeah,
Just Google
one of the guys he-
Joseph Rosenbaum children.
Yeah,
okay?
and go on Instagram or YouTube and look up Alex Stranger at the city council meeting where he was talking about how we need to make sure we. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze.
Rona, bless you.
Where we need to build a school named after this guy, which is obviously a joke. He's trolling
That's not
because
a
this
joke.
guy was a pedophile, Michael.
Oh, someone asked me if I should run for Austin Independent School District. So if I do run and I win, we want to have a school named after Kyle Rittenhouse. That's going to be my talking point. Go ahead. Rona, bless you.
Like I said, at least I know it's not monkeypox, which I wish I could say for you. You hear about that new study that came out that said, from the New York Post, that said that monkeypox is not primarily contracted through touch, but through GAY.
Don't touch Gary, girls. That's all I'm saying. You'll know who he's doing. But let's talk cryptocurrency.
It's Pride Month. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Happy Pride.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
you
right.
You see where the Michael?
Circle
Do you
back.
see the link?
Okay, moving on. So
fire today,
cryptocurrency.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Tell
sir.
me your website one more time.
UnitedServicesExchange.com.
And you're primarily focusing on who?
We're looking at the veterans and their families and the military folks.
And trying to help those guys out.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what are you wanting people to do?
Well, we want to help them get a piece of the pie. You know, we want to help them to lift them up a little bit here. You know, that's it's tough transitioning from the military to the civilian world, and you know, we're just looking to help them out, make them get into the digital world as quickly as we can.
And so what exactly do you want them to do? You go to your website and sign up, or what?
Yeah, you go to the website. You can sign up right now. We got a waiting list. We're gonna have the site up here in about 10 days or so, and we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Nice. And so what are they going to get from those services?
You're going to be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, things like that, and you'll be able to hedge yourself against inflation.
And why is your site different from other sites?
Well, primarily we're focused more towards the military, so we look at them. It's like USAA, how they focus towards the military as well. We're kind of following that model as well.
All right. And what's that website one more time?
UnitedServicesExchange.com.
All right. So, man, you know what? Give the Thrall Police Department a break. All this officer did was take a selfie with a citizen. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, this guy was acquitted.
A law-abiding citizen who was able to defend himself.
He defended himself. He did an outstanding job. Man's on the ground shooting and defending yourself, rolling and moving. I thought he did an outstanding job, against some people that were trying to kill him. And he was acquitted by a jury of his peers. As always, more guns equals less crime. You go out there, you buy yourself a gun. You've been listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.
Folks, this is Doug Man Jones. And I get my gun news from Michael Cargill at Come and Talk It.